Hello, comic book fans. It's Xavier's X-Men vs. Magneto, the Master of Magnetism. The X-Men's oldest enemy is back, and it's going to take every one of the X-Men to bring him down. I promise this battle's going to be epic. Show some support by liking and subscribing. Now, let's get started. In space, near Earth, a spacecraft stolen from the US government facility is hit by a warning shot to let them know they mean business. Their entire plan was based on finding Asteroid M in time, but the scanners have failed to detect it. Then, suddenly a flash of light.
I am Magneto.
Magneto refuses to allow a spacefight to take place on the doorstep of his home, Asteroid M. They beg for their life, but Magneto tells them to consider this a warning before sending them back to Earth. But they are not begging for their life, rather fellow mutants ready to join his cause. They have come to serve and pledge their lives to his cause. But those days are done for Magneto. Below, the Soviet center has been monitoring the space fight and has detected the powers that destroyed the spaceship in space. Word quickly spreads to the US government that Magneto has been maintaining the supposedly destroyed Asteroid M, 250 kilometers above their heads. The Americans fear that the Russians could make this worse, but Nick Fury has an alternative option. 40 miles north of New York stands Professor Xavier's Schools for the Gifted Youngsters, a very special school for very special people known as the X-Men. What makes them special is they are mutants, born with paranormal abilities that sets them apart from humanity, and how they choose to use their special powers. The object of this exercise is to penetrate the mansion's defenses. Forge's new defenses are ready to put them to the test. The objective is to get Professor X. It has been a long time since Professor X has taken an active role in the leadership of the X-Men. To him, it feels like they are all coming together for the first time. Jean Grey has been there from the start of the school and reminds him, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
There are missiles incoming!
The incendiary missiles are designed to melt Iceman's defenses. Missiles are locked onto Rogue's biosignature. She diverts them away from Iceman. If she leads the missiles up, they will follow her. That will take them out, but also take her out of the fight. Instead, she guides them back to where they came from. Rogue has cleared a path. Time for Archangel to deliver Colossus. Colossus makes an impressive cannonball and could easily demolish the mansion on his own to get to the target. But all that physical power will not stand against Jean's telepathic attack. In the sewers of the mansion, Psylocke, Wolverine, and Gambit slip through, away from the main defenses. Or so they thought. Wolverine is not happy that Gambit has slipped out to claim the prize for himself. Meanwhile, Rogue was taken down by the second wave of missiles. Gambit's got the jump on Jean. With speed and a smile, he draws a card from the deck in one smooth strike. His charged kinetic energy into the card lets it fly. He has won and claims his prize. Or so he thought. Gambit has the charisma to light up a room, but Jean knows how to take a man's breath away. Cyclops, however, will drop a truck on him the next time he sees him. A really big truck.
Huh?
The decoys can fool everyone except Wolverine's senses, who knows Professor X's scent too well.
Target eliminated.
Cyclops tells Wolverine to back off. One tiny slip and Wolverine's adamantium can slice the professor.
I don't slip, bub.
Wolverine is proud that he was able to get to the target with teamwork. Gambit causing enough of a distraction, and Psylocke using her psychic powers to mask Wolverine from Jean's detection. Cyclops wants to run that again, but Wolverine is done being treated like a kid and tells Cyclops to use his robot doppelganger. Some things never change, I guess. Later, Nick Fury briefs the X-Men on a situation on Asteroid M. It is still being cloaked somewhere above Russian space. They have pledged not to attack, but are on a hair-trigger threshold. Rogue doesn't see a problem. Magneto stopped the fight in space. The X-Men want to give Magneto the benefit of the doubt But the power Magneto possesses, and how he chooses to use it, will make any government wary. The plan is to split the X-Men in 2 strike teams, to be prepared for the worst. On board Asteroid M, the pilots from both sides are together for the first time. The tension remains between mutants and humans, and they get into an unnecessary skirmish.
What is the meaning of this?
Magneto reminds his guests to respect the rules of hospitality. The mutant is able to break free from the skirmish and rushes towards her Xavier. But the human flat scan does not feel the same way and shoots her from behind. With her dying breath, she pledges herself to Magneto's cause. Magneto warned them to behave in his home. The human reminds Magneto that he is an officer of the law and is just in his actions. But Magneto tells him the only law on Asteroid M is the one he gives, beginning with the right to life. One of the mutant among them is Fabian Cortez, who pledges with Magneto to show strength that flat scans must understand. Back in Xavier's school, Magneto's energy signature has been detected to be entering Earth's atmosphere. They rush to the Blackbird with no time to waste. Something big is happening in the mid-Atlantic. Moments ago, Magneto stood at the bottom of the ocean, miles beneath, bringing up wrecked submarines from a time when he forced the world to disarm their nuclear arsenals. To him, it was a noble cause. The governments he challenged didn't see it that way. The Soviets also detected Magneto is back on Earth and ordered a ballistic missile on him from a submarine. The missile is easily taken down to be no less of a threat than the metal submarine that launched it. A submarine that is then crushed to be taught a lesson.
It's been a while, Magneto.
On the wreckage of the submarine, they stand on top of crushed bodies from a battle long past. Magneto tells them it was an act of self-defense, but Rogue assures him no one is threatening him. Magneto tells them he is doing the same as the governments of Earth, to pray for the best but prepare for the worst. Beast and Gambit jump out of the Blackbird just in time to be over the newly created island made of metal.
That is close enough!
But was it fast enough? Not for Beast, who gets hit by what used to be the metal floor. But Gambit plays his cards right and is able to fire some charged cards. However, Magneto is faster this time. Psylocke uses their distraction to her advantage and knows to strike the helmet off him to weaken his psychic defenses and manifest a psionic knife to render Magneto insensible. But Magneto again is able to use the metal surroundings to his advantage too. Wolverine can tell his team has been holding back a little and launches a deadly strike without holding back. Cyclops knows things have gotten out of hand without him being there and has to separate them to take control before things get out of hand. Magneto is forced to face the death of his past actions up close. Wolverine gets to jump on him again, but Magneto's will to survive is unquestionable. Magneto storms off, taking the submarine's missiles with him, and Rogue goes after him, but only to talk to him, which is what they should have done from the start. However, fighter jets have also entered the area and do not waste time firing missiles. Rogue tries to calm the situation, explaining that taking off with missiles will spook everyone. For the second time today, Rogue is hit by more missiles. Magneto knows the world will never accept them, and does the unthinkable. Back on Asteroid M, Magneto feels betrayed by the X-Men. He sits and contemplates the events, and if they could have gone differently. But his wounds from the battle catch up to him. Fabian Cortez tells Magneto the X-Men have chosen a side, and will face the same judgment as the human flat scans. His powers heal a battle-worn Magneto. Back on Earth, the X-Men have located Rogue in the capital island of Genosha, where Magneto centered just before the blast. Genosha has a history of enslaving mutants. Rogue and the X-Men helped put an end to that. Rogue has been awoken, Not because it will help her recover, but to help the citizens of Genosha who are being attacked. In the city center, Magneto's acolytes have come to collect Rogue. But she is in no mood to be taken anywhere, and makes that very clear to one of the acolytes. But he retaliates by growing in size and grabbing Rogue. The X-Men make it in time to back up Rogue in the battle that is about to happen. Gambit shows off his speed by grabbing a large caliber bullet in the air and throws it right back at them. One of the acolytes is able to change his molecular structure to be as dense as Wolverine's adamantium. So Beast puts that to the test by throwing Wolverine at him. Psylocke takes out their air support. Cyclops wants the acolyte's leader, Fabian Cortez, alive to question, but Wolverine likes to get close and personal with his claws. To everyone's surprise, Magneto appears. He was aware of the acolyte's actions, but will not abandon those that have pledged themselves to him. He sees himself above the law. Laws are made by humans for humans. With all this in mind, with all that Magneto has seen today, it is clear to him that Asteroid M must and will be made a sovereign world, home to mutant kind. If you are born a mutant, you are automatically entitled to a safe haven from humanity's cruelty. How will the world's governments react to this? And what side will the X-Men choose? If you want to see more videos like this, like, subscribe, and support us by checking out our merch with details found in the description. Now, thank you for watching. I hope you had a good time viewing the video, and we will see you on the next one.